Hi from Motley Garden. Today I'm going to show you how we made this simple garden gate for my small backyard garden. We wanted a permanent garden gate for the garden since we have 3 young children and wanted them to be able to access the garden by themselves. Here's a picture of the progress we made before the gate. We installed 4 birdies 4 by 8 foot garden beds. It was much easier to install the garden beds before restricting access with a fence. We made a trip to the local hardware store where we picked up supplies we still needed, which included a gate latch, gate hinges, exterior wood screws, corner brackets, fence staples, or sometimes called poultry net staples, 2 easy fence post spikes. These things were great, although a little pricey, but it did make this project no dig, which we liked. 2 6-foot fence posts, pressure-treated 2x4s, welded wire fencing, and fence U-posts. When we got home, we marked where we wanted the garden gate. We wanted it centered on this side of the garden, which opens to the rest of the yard, and create a walkway between the garden beds. An important thing to remember when spacing the posts for the gate is to ensure that they are wide enough so that you can get a wheelbarrow through the gate. Once we picked the location of the posts, we ensured that they were level and used a spare board and small sledgehammer to drive them into the ground. It was important to check that they remained level where the first half of the stake was driven in, because after that, there was very little wiggle room. With the 2 easy stakes installed, the fence posts slid in. It took a little wiggling to get them seated all the way, but there was very little movement after that. And since we used the easy fence posts, we kept the full 6-foot height of the posts above ground. Next, we installed the welded wire fence using the fence staples against the wooden fence posts. We had previously purchased 100 feet of welded wire fence with a 4-foot height. We have deer that roam the neighborhood, but plan to keep the garden pretty full, which should deter them from jumping the fence, since there is nowhere for them to land safely. I have a neighbor that has the same height fence, and it seemed to work pretty well for them and their small garden. We had several deer visit our yard this first summer, including this cool piebald deer, and the deer were content to stay on their side of the fence. After installing the fence post and fence, we measured the distance between the 2 fence posts. We measured at the top, the middle, and the bottom where the gate was to go and used the smallest number. We then subtracted 1 inch from that number to make sure the gate had enough room to swing freely. This is the number that we used to cut the top and bottom 2x4 for the gate. The 2 vertical boards were cut to 45 inches since we planned on using more of the 4-foot welded wire fence to cover the middle of the gate. This keeps the gate lightweight since we don't want the gate too heavy, causing the fence posts to bow. We didn't use any fancy method to secure the 2x4 boards into a rectangle. Instead, we used the 4 corner brackets we bought and secured them with wood screws. Next, we cut a section from the remaining welded wire fencing and secured it to the inside of our gate using more fence staples. And here it is, our completed gate. Next, we had to attach the gate to one of the fence posts. As you can see, the easy post sticks up from the ground. So when picking where you put your hinges, make sure you take that into account and attach the hinges to the gate first. And then, while someone holds the gate to keep the slack off, attach it to the fence post. Finally, we installed the latch. And here you go. Now we have a small fenced-in backyard garden with a garden gate that even my children can use. I was excited to finish this project and for my first year using these raised beds after being limited to container gardening in the past. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.